You in the shot. Good. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men, and for the sake of the new generation, women, those who don't identify, are created equal, and they are endowed by their creator. And for the sake of the new generation, even if their creator is just their parents, with certain unalienable rights. And for this generation, you have to pay for your rights. Pretty much. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I'm Mills Lane. This is Trap Gardner. This is American Culture Topics. Nothing special. What do you mean? It's a whole new decade, man. Clap up to yourself and to the world because you just seen 2020. You're in the roaring 20s.
Damn.
We should have contests. Who can do the Charleston? Get ready for the Great Depression. I don't know nothing else about the 20s. What else happened in the 20s, man?
Prohibition.
Prohibition. Ugh.
You know I was going to say.
Don't take away, bro. Don't do no more prohibition, baby. Please. I can't.
Well, okay. So prohibition, which led to the American Mafia. Oh, and also led to the Kennedys' wealth. You know what I mean?
Hey, the Kennedys produced the president.
Yeah, well, their wealth produced, well, it brought a lot of liquor in America. You know what I mean? Old Joe Kennedy was a smart motherfucker. He made a deal with the Canadians.
That's right.
To bring all that liquor in, and he would get so much money for a bottle, no matter who bought the bottle of liquor.
Okay.
He still would get money. Even at the Prohibition, he still got paid money for every bottle of liquor that came from Canada into America.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, baby.
Yeah, it was one hell of a deal.
Nothing wrong with that.
So he kept the Canadian liquor business going, beer, liquor, and all that going during Prohibition. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so Canada
baby.
allowed him.
Hey, whoever just sent me that message, get up in the chat. Because if you, the first person who chats always gets a free plug on American Culture Topics. So.
Better not be Coleman.
Nah. I ain't plugging him.
Yeah, well, he could be him. You know what I mean? That's my most deadly enemy. I'm gonna do you soon.
Hey, relax.
That nigga know he going down anyway. He ain't no doubt about it. He knows it. He'll have no expectation of not making it out of the room and shit.
All right. So, for all that being said, yes, it's a new decade. And yes, you made it there. And you should be proud. You should be happy.
Damn.
You should be worthy. You should tell your maker, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I think. After that, what are you gonna do here? What are your plans? Huh?
What?
Are you here to make money? Are you here to find a lot of women? Is that your plan? Is your plan tied up in, what can you get on credit? Is your plan to free yourself of debt this decade? Is your plan to acquire property? Is your plan to marry someone? Is your plan to, remove yourself from a relationship?
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm talking to the people listening to the show.
Well, I thought we were going to do a show and shit.
We are.
Well, what is all that goopy gaga you
first,
doing?
we're respecting new decade.
Well,
Okay.
I say don't make a plan.
Let me go straight to your.
Hold on, man. Fuck that. Now
okay, go ahead. Yeah, there you go.
Let me put my plug in.
Hey, man, have some
small
talk.
You finished yet?
Enjoy the small talk, babes.
Yeah, you done yet? First thing is never make a resolution because you're built for failure with that shit. Okay, so no.
What do you mean, man? Last year I had a New Year's resolution to lose weight.
Okay, you lost weight.
Yeah, I lost some type of weight.
Yeah, and then you gained it back and shit. Now you trying to lose it again. Okay, fine.
But anyway, right there.
Bro. Okay, I'm sorry, man. I apologize.
Go ahead, do your thing, bro.
Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, don't set yourself up for failure. If you're gonna do something, just fucking do it and shit. Now, the thing that you can do in the new year, right, is put yourself on track to do what you need to do. You know what I mean?
That's
so
right.
This, like he was saying, buy a house or end a relationship or begin a relationship or get married. There are tracks that you take to do those things. Like you got to ask somebody to marry you before you can get married. You know what I mean?
That's facts.
And in the house, you got to have that money ready and that credit straightened out. So there's things that you could do to get on track, to do the things that you want to do, but don't make a resolution out of it because then you bound yourself to something that maybe you're not going to be able to achieve just like that. Remember, a baby, it crawls before it walks.
Okay. And in the field of work that I do, it's very important to understand. So that way I'm speaking to you on a level that I am in tune with. Yes. Have a vision board. Write down things you want to do and put it in your face. Make sure you have to look at it
every day.
Because every time you decide not to do those things that you wrote down,
cross it off,
then you will feel shame.
Shame. Damn.
And yes, a lot of things have survived off of your shame throughout history. Religion, your children, a lot of family members. A lot of people have survived off of your shame, the shame that you create. Remember that.
Shame?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ain't no shame in my game. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I could care fucking less what the world think about my dumb ass. You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of shame, let's start with our first topic. New Year's Day in the great city of Philadelphia. We celebrate New Year's Day, not, 12 a.m., 12:01, but the actual day with hold up. We'll interrupt this start of show because we got our first comment. It is from I Am Superfacts podcast, and that name says it all. So if you go to I Am Superfacts podcast, you will see great content from I Am Superfacts podcast. So from his show, Superfacts podcast. That's right. So from his show, Superfacts podcast. Okay, there you go. So what you'll see, he usually has a panel of guests, and they talk about topics. And I love the show because it's a chance to hear multiple voices. We've done that before. We've tried that before. We've had Here's Journey on our show before. And, and we hope to have guests in the future. But at the same time, checking out I Am Superfacts podcast. Subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. And thanks, of course, for joining the show. Thanks for being the first one in the chat. And that continues our streak. We're going to keep it going. First one in the chat gets the promo for free. No problem. Mills Lane. Always say it, and he say what he mean.
So now where was he at?
Where we were at was talking about the shame of the fact that in Philadelphia there's a parade. That's what I was getting to. And it's called the Mummers Parade. It happens every year on January 1st. To put in perspective, the Mummers, I don't know what the Mummers are.
Bunch of bums and shit.
Okay, I'm gonna give Trap a little time. I'm gonna do a little bit of research on the Mummers, but the Mummers Parade happens every year. It is so serious that there's actually a Mummers Museum.
And it's so serious. They end this shit down in the convention center where they do this thing again and they get prize money. Who did the best strut up Broad Street? Oh, yeah, it goes up Broad Street. Used to go like all the way, like from South Philly to Broad Street, and then they did some shit to commercialize it, make money off of it, but I don't know how much money they make it off of it. Not a lot.
Okay, so real quick, basically it's a bunch of clubs that participate in the parade, and what I realize is they're I was gonna say infested. I don't want to cause no trouble yet, but they're intertwined with the city of Philadelphia. So our garbage men, our policemen, lawyers, teachers, those who grew up in the city, it's like their family is intertwined into the Mummers. So you'll have a lot of them marching, and we have different types of Mummers. You have comical Mummers. You have those who do
the
fancy string bands, fancy brigades, and things of that nature. So, hopefully they keep it current and topical. So when I was a kid, I saw like they had a Little Mermaid theme when the Little Mermaid was kind of or the Star Wars theme.
Yeah, they have different things every year.
But for recently, the last few years, well, last year there was a theme. I forgot the theme it was, but they had actually two themes that caught the attention of national media. One of them was there was a reenactment of someone acting like they were Caitlyn Jenner.
Wait a minute. There we go. Okay, go ahead.
And someone proceeded to beat up Caitlyn Jenner.
And they had blackface.
And the other part of it was they had on blackface. So blackface, those who are not familiar with blackface, Google Al Jolson.
The original, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
He wasn't the original. I think the motherfuckers up in there, Boston was back in the day.
Google, type in Ted Danson blackface.
With Whoopi Goldberg. Huh?
Yes. So it's when a person of Caucasian background smears black or brown makeup over their face. You can even get a blackface of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Oh, hold out on the motherfucker.
Now he was acting like he was an Indian man, but he smeared this.
That shit started in Boston back in the day.
That's right. For American culture topic's sake, blackface started. Oh, yes, right. That's right. Work, son. Drake had blackface, but we don't. I'm kind of torn on Drake because Drake's black, so I don't really. He's a light-skinned guy that had on black makeup. I kind of gotta let Drake. I give him a slight pass. He did lose that rap battle, but I give him a little pass because he's black. But yes, we were talking about the beginning of blackface was something called the Boston Tea Party. And if you're familiar with American history, there were a lot of colonial Americans that were upset with the taxes that were being levied by King George in England, in the UK. And so they demonstrated by pulling the tea from off the ships and dumping it into the harbor.
Trying to put it on the Indian brother. He did it.
Because they smeared some brown paint on their face. So they made it look like they were like, oh yeah, the American Indians did it. So, and I say American Indians, I really mean the American indigenous. Yes. So when the British soldiers showed up and they walked into the bar near the harbor, they said, all right, who was dumping that tea in the harbor. What we didn't understand at the time was that those what the American indigenous would call pale-faced colonials had on their team was a black man by the name of Crispus Attucks, who they were telling him about all of this British regime problems. So he was pretty gassed up. This black
he was in the bar. He was gassed up.
He was in the bar with him drinking. And when the British soldiers came in, it was like, who was dumping that tea in the harbor?